What's up, guys? How's it going? Miles here, checking in with another lowdown. Got something little sad for some people, but some big news has been coming out the last couple weeks here in the Telemark community. Wanted to touch base on them. Some of you guys might be able to figure out what it is with a couple of the boots that are in front of me. But before we get into it, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We got a bunch of new content coming out, so make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. Let's get right into it. So today I'm going to be kind of doing a second part or a response video to Tele's video about is 75mm dead, and it is a hot topic, a very controversial topic depending on who you ask. And me personally, I love 75mm. I always will, as most of you guys know. Huge fan of the candy canes or the red T-Races from Scarpa. Have a couple pairs of them. For me, that's my favorite boot. But I haven't been skiing a lot this year. I've been on my TX Pros a lot. I've been on my TX Comps a lot. And realistically, that's just kind of the way things are going. So I got a couple boots in front of me. Starting off with the Super Comp, which was kind of the biggest, I guess, revolutionary plastic mixed with a leather Telemark boot. That was the boot. We wouldn't have had this boot if it weren't for that boot. So kind of wanted to touch base on that as far as kind of an evolution of, those leather boots. We wouldn't really be skiing Telemark today if it weren't for those leather boots in the past. People started modifying them, put their own 5-gallon bucket cuffs on them, whatever it may be. So kind of transitioned over to the plastic boot era, the T2, the OG Terminator. Those boots from Scarpa were really a big game changer. As time went by, plastic boots started getting bigger, taller, more buckles, where it ended up being like either of these two boots in front of me. A 4-buckle, higher cuffed, stiff, bomber, strong boot. Which is great, still is great. It's an awesome boot, but unfortunately, with the most recent news from Scott and the most recent news from Scarpa, Scott is no longer manufacturing or producing any of their 75mm boots, and then Scarpa is getting rid of the T1, the gray and blue, or whatever other colors they used to be, gray and white, green and silver, black and red. Pretty much that T1 is no longer from Scarpa. So I kind of wanted to make a video, kind of like a last call for 75mm boots, where if you guys are still on that platform, I know there are a lot of people out there who maybe their foot's too big for NTN, or maybe you just love the way those bindings ski. Maybe you got 5 or 6 pairs of axles and you're set up and you're good. Boots are going to start to get harder and harder to get, as well as they kind of are already hard to get. So maybe you have a boot that you want to get into. Maybe it's a Synergy. Maybe it's a T1. Give us a call. Send us an email. We'll get you set up with those boots. So with that news of 75mm kind of going away, I wanted to touch base on some of that NTN stuff, as it is a little confusing for some. There are more bindings, or the bindings are a little bit different than they were in the past, as far as, you had the Free Ride, you had the Freedom, the original Outlaw from 22 Designs, kind of right when that NTN switch had started to happen. And there is an awesome new binding out called the Majo. Some of you guys may know about this binding. A lot of you guys are out there skiing on this binding already. It is a great binding for someone who is looking for a little bit more of that softer 75mm feel, but with the advantages of the lateral control, of the overall power, as well as the Majo has a independent adjustable release setting, which is pretty cool, where the release setting does not matter what the spring tension is set to, at least the binding stiffness. So super cool for Majo. The biggest thing on that is simply the NTN boots do the job better than those 75mm boots. The TX Pro is an awesome boot for the majority of people. It has those tech fittings, so you can run them in either the Majo, the Lynx, but you can also still run them in the Outlaw. You still can run them in the Free Ride. So TX Pro is kind of taking the spot of the T1. And then you still do have that TX Comp from Scarpa, which will be the equivalent to the T-Race, just a little bit stiffer, a little bit more bomber for that person who's looking for that extra oomph in their turn. So just kind of wanted to touch base with you guys real quick on that. I still, like I said before, still got a couple pairs of boots, but it is going to start getting pretty hard to get into some of those boots. So if you're looking for a pair, if you need a size, let us know. We will do the best we can to get you a boot, as we still have the availability to get a couple pairs of boots. So let us know, give us a call, shoot us an email. But yeah, guys, 75mm is now even closer to being dead, unfortunately. So wouldn't be here without these couple boots in front of me, and many more. If I had them all out in front of me, you wouldn't be able to see me. So that's a quick lowdown for you guys from me on 75mm being dead. Still don't think it's quite dead, but it's about there. It's pretty close. So with no more boots, we're about there. So if you have been thinking about the Switch, now's the time to either think about the Switch or stock up on 75mm boots. So as always, guys, it's been Miles with another lowdown. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I will most likely be headed or in the Midwest when you guys are seeing this video. Me and T2 are headed out to the Midwest Telefest. So if any of you guys are out there in Washburn, going to be skiing the Porkies. So we'll see a couple of you guys there in the Midwest Telefest. But it's been Miles, guys, with another lowdown. Checking out. Peace.